One of my favorite things in art and the visual world is illusions, and there is a well of information and thought that goes into the whole illusion process. Is all of reality an illusion, a dream, etc.? The next series of videos are going to deal with dreams and some illusions that I like, and I think I haven't really discovered them, but I've exploited them really nice, and in my own personal time, I have discovered several that I haven't really seen anywhere else. Some that I've come to discover are already discovered, but you'll see. Very interesting collection I want to present to you, and I wanted to begin with this one, which is a drawing I did the other day, which just illustrates one illusion. I call it this is just kind of a dimensional shift, but also this has the Maya face illusion, which as towards the end of the video. So two illusions in this one, but take a look at this, because this is a really interesting one. As you see it now, the women are on the bottom and the men are upside down on the top. So take a look as it gradually, slowly spins, because at one point right around there, the both sides switch, and the man is now in the front. And now right about there, boom, the woman is now in the front. It's a very curious and incredible illusion, and you know what I mean, it has to do with just the perspective and the way it's drawn, and the colors help a little bit as well. But it's just one of those cool things that I like at what degree, at what time does your mind recognize the shift? See, right in the center, it's kind of both, and then boom, and then it's obvious. You can't see the back as being the front. You can only see what's at the bottom as being in the front. And it's, I didn't really do extra shading. Both are kind of the same in some aspect of, as far as shading wise, everything's almost fully illuminated. But it's just an interesting illusion, and I wanted to share it with you all because I think it not only looks cool, but it is just interesting to find these in reality. I am always, since I was young, constantly looking for illusions in reality, in nature. And you can find them on the bottom of mushrooms. There's illusions. You walk down an elevator and you see a moire illusion. Drive down the street and you see different fences collide and you can see illusions, the moire illusions again. But they're everywhere, and a lot of different ones. So just kind of think about it. There's just kind of stuff to think about, not really anything too intense or scientific about it, but it's very cool stuff. And the next one, this kind of relates to the next one, because the next one is the Aztec calendar spinning, in the face in the middle. I personally made on mine, I'll show you the ancient version spinning as well, but in my version I made it so there's a face in the bottom and a face at the top. And so this is kind of dealing with dimensions of basically a pool and a sphere. The next illusion I'll show you deals with a face, and it has the similar kind of characteristics as that. So you probably all have heard of pareidolia. It's the finding faces in nature, seeing them in everything from an oil stain to your coffee to your matcha. This happens to me all the time, and I think that's actually a way to gauge synchronicity and kind of the way the universe is. I am convinced that you see negative and scary faces when things are kind of a little off with you, and you see happy and beautiful faces when things are perfect and right on the money, almost like a way, like synchronicity, a way of gauging things. But that's just me. Either way, it could be a product of evolution and having to see faces and spot them. But this face illusion is cool because look, right here down, you can look and you can see a lot of interconnectedness, and that's why I changed the color later. But there's that face, and then boom, here's the next face. This is the traditional face, the usual face you see, kind of smiling, teeth grinning, looking up a little bit. Then over here, boom, is a different face, kind of down, a little thinner, a little more feminine, but also as the light changes, it becomes more masculine too. Pretty universal, both of them. But notice how they change in the timing that they change. It's a similar angle to the angle that the other sphere drawing changes at. Boom, see, there's that one. Right away, and he goes, you can see him, he's there, and now the other one is there. And I like the way lights can look at interconnected artwork like this, because you never know what will be featured, what will pop out. It's the same as with a camera, a digital camera. It doesn't really know where to focus in busy art like this, so it can focus on all different kinds of things, and things that you never even noticed before it can pick up. All about the eye, all about the perception, all about the potential wrapped in everything, and even more, kind of like dreams, is it all coming from a collective unconscious. This is the Aztec calendar as the way it is in nature, a little but tweaked a lot to my kind of different ways. And this is from when I was young, probably like 2010 maybe. and 2008, and it's just very detailed and very subconscious. I didn't really know as much as I do now about what the calendar means, and as far as timings and way of keeping measurement, but look at the faces. I love it. Something magical about that. And right when it changes, something happens in your mind at that moment, that brief little instant when for one split second neither face is there, but then it switches. It's kind of like a magical pinnacle, but is also our mind is perceiving it, so it takes time for our mind to register it from our eyes. Again, just a bunch of different thoughts. And this is what happens when you spin the ancient one. Nothing really changes. They didn't really account for a face on the bottom, I don't think, but every mandala, I believe, is intended to be viewed from every single possible angle, all 360 billion, and every increment in between those degrees as well is unique. And it's kind of like our perspective. When we all have a unique perspective, and every mandala has a lot going on with it, especially the ancient ones. And all art, a lot of art should be viewed this way. You can see, you never know what you'll find. You never know what the invisible forces put into the art through the noosphere and tapped into the artist at the time, everything. There's so much to discover. It's a beautiful way of observing the world. All different kinds of illusions are very possible for our miraculous eyes to see. We just have to be on the lookout for them. So I'm going to show you some of the cool ones I've found. So stay tuned. And to add to the awesomeness of these illusions here, you may have noticed or may not have noticed if you've looked away from the computer yet, but this is also one of those illusions where if you stare at it the full minute, barely blink, and just keep staring at it with a full screen, when you take your eyes away from the computer screen, the entire world will be spinning. All of these can kind of do it with. This one I think has the best out of all. The Maya has a pretty cool effect and strength to it as well. But take a look. Those illusions are really cool. They're really fun to just shift your reality without the use of any chemical or anything, just visual mastery. Our eyes are muscles. They are capable of so much more than we have been taught. They are constantly, again, one of those things that's being dumbed down, and we need to rediscover it, and it's one thing I've been dedicated to. So if you have any down there in the comments, any illusions you know of, put them here, and I'll take a look at them. And let's keep exploring. So much potential in everything. Bless you all. Enjoy the spiraling. And for a final thought, it always brings to mind, are we spinning, or is whatever's up there spinning? But either way, something is, and we have to understand what that means and how that almost creates the illusion. I think there's something magic in the spin, wherever it is. Not a rotation, not what they tell us, nothing like what they tell us, but something up there or down here is spinning. Bless you all.